Hello, viewers. A very warm welcome to all of you to the CSR Universe's Leaders Talk segment. And today we are extremely grateful and delighted to have with us a visionary, a philanthropist, and social entrepreneur, Mrs. Shraddha Soparkar, who is the founder trustee of Madhuram Charitable Trust, to share her inspiring work and thoughts on creating a socially, economically, and culturally inclusive and equitable society for the specially abled, especially children. A very, very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank you.
for joining us.
Thank you so much.
In fact, I feel that your presence is enough inspiration, for us, and we appreciate the commendable work you've been doing in this field and for this community. So,
Thank you.
to begin with, Shraddha, I would like to ask you your personal life journey and how did the idea originate? How, since you are the mother of a specially gifted child, so how did you begin with this work?
So, I always say that my journey started from my journey as a mother, because I have always been born and brought up in a very business-oriented environment.
Right.
Also, the family I married to is very business-oriented, and business was life, and that's what we were. That was the plan to do what. Uh, uh, and then suddenly, sometimes God sends you a big shocker in life, just to make you realize that the path that you have chosen might not be the only thing that you're meant to do.
Hmm.
So I have two children, one is Yuvraj and Shruti, and my second, the daughter, Shruti, she was born mentally challenged. And I think that really kind of flipped the whole game for me, because a point comes when you realize that, how much money do you want to earn, or what do you want to do exactly in life, and where are you heading, every day, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, where are you heading with all?
Right.
And so the birth of Shruti, and I always say that, sh- uh, you know, she has given birth to me. I never say that I gave birth to her, because she gave birth to a different woman, a stronger woman. So that's it.
Lovely, lovely. So, going further, I would like you to elaborate on the initiatives, the current initiatives that are under that
Mm.
Madhuram Charitable Trust has undertaken, and what exactly is the mission and the vision of the trust?
So when you talk of mission and vision, if I say long term, then it is to develop a society which is more inclusive of special needs. When I
Hmm.
say special needs, it's not only mental challenge, it's also physically challenged, it's also deaf and dumb,
Right.
and it's also slow learners.
Hmm.
So our society is very harsh towards people. Of course, this is a competitive world. I belong to the corporate world.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's very competitive. Everybody is pulling each other down,
Yeah.
and that is okay. That is healthy. Healthy competition is always good. But when it comes to a person who is challenged, we don't need sympathy.
Hmm.
We don't need you to give us any extra benefits or perks. We are not asking for any reservations,
Hmm.
but we are definitely asking to be included, just as a normal person would.
Hmm. Hmm. Right.
So not to be looked down upon only because they are disabled. So the vision of Madhuram would be, in one word, inclusion. And to get it in India is a big challenge,
Hmm.
because right now it's definitely not there.
Yes.
So that is the vision. Uh, the mission would be to take small steps to achieve that. So we have, first and foremost, the most important is medical aid, because any challenged person is, the first thing he requires is medical aid. So to provide medical aid at a lower cost,
Hmm.
or like Madhuram is doing, free of cost. So doing that, then
Hmm.
spreading awareness is
Hmm.
another thing.
Hmm.
Developing the correct infrastructure and its awareness is a very important thing. If you see, in India, we have no infrastructural facilities. If you just one day in your life, if you roam around in a wheelchair, you will understand that neither our offices are trained, nor our lifts are ready to take us,
Yes.
nor the buses, nor the public transport. So developing infrastructure. So these are the wide variety of things that we are working on.
Hmm.
If you talk about vision and mission.
All right. And you were talking about the challenges. So since you are a lawyer by profession as well, so I'm sure you are aware of the fact that there is a need to, sensitize people and build that kind of awareness among people. So
Yes.
what are your thoughts on that? And in terms of policies also at the government level, what are your suggestions? What changes should come in place?
Um, See, I always feel that having a law is different and implementation of the law is a completely different ballgame. Like right now, for example, we have cyber law in the country, but how many of us have been duped in our bank accounts? So many of us have been fooled, and there's no regress. So having a law, we do have laws, we do have acts, we have a National Disability Act,
Hmm,
but the implementation of that law is a whole different ballgame. Just a simple example I'll give you for government policies. For example, today I want to make the disability card of my daughter because that disability card helps me to enter various places faster.
hmm,
And so right now I am amply blessed, thank God. But then people who are not amply blessed, their ration card is linked to the disability card. They get more free ration, more the discount on medicines, the Ayushman thing that Modi has come up with in the hospitals. All that is linked to the disability card.
right.
But the procedure to get the disability card is so tedious.
Hmm,
It drains you. It will take 10 days of your time. A person who is working
hmm,
has to literally take a week off just to get that disability card. So that should not be the case. However, I would always say that after Modi has come, I am a big Modi bhakt. Things have improved a lot,
hmm.
and we are hoping and looking that things will improve further.
That's really great. That's really great. So, in terms of sensitizing people, are you also looking at, engaging people, like people around this community, the parents especially, with some kind of engagement tools, to raise this awareness?
So I always feel that when we talk about inclusion, it has to start at the very basis,
Hmm,
and that basis is education. So as my mother also runs schools, and when we are talking about schools,
mm-hmm,
the schools should have some place. If we are including people below the poverty line, why can't we include people who are a little mentally challenged or a little physically challenged?
hmm, hmm,
And I'm not saying that you put them in the same classroom, because a person who's mentally challenged will definitely not be able to cope up with the normal kids. But at least there can be some basic interaction. They can have lunch together, or they can have a games period together.
hmm,
As a child, when a normal kid will see that special kids are part of life,
hmm,
then as an adult, when that child grows up, he will know how to behave with them. Right now, if a special kid comes, you and me become very awkward. What to talk to him, what not. And furthermore, there are people who are illiterate. They'll start making fun of the kid. They'll start
hmm.
poking things at him.
Yes, yes.
So a basic respect, a basic empathy, not sympathy, is what we require. That has to start at the very basic, like kindergarten. It has to start there. A basic interaction has to start.
True, true, true. So, you are into something called Stepathan. I would want you to elaborate on that and the other center that you are launching in Gujarat, the Aqua Therapy Center. So, if you can elaborate on what exactly is the work.
Okay, so Stepathon is my flagship project. It was a dream project which I never thought would be successful. And Aqua Therapy Center, we've just started it. We've just launched our press release yesterday. I will talk
Mm-hmm,
about both of them. So Stepathon, it's a word I derived from marathon, which means you walking, and Stepathon means you're taking one step at a time. The quantity of people with lower limb amputation, that is the no legs,
mm-hmm.
are many.
Yes.
Till now, many institutions have been working on it. I will not name a few,
Mm-hmm,
but those methods are outdated. Also, that what we do is that when a poor person has lost his limb, we
mm-hmm.
try to manufacture low quality products because we want to win the number game.
Right.
But my vision is that a poor person and a rich person might have a different lifestyle. Their clothes, their house must be different. That's fine.
Mm-hmm,
But the medical facilities should not be different. If I fall sick, if your driver falls sick, the paracetamol has to be the same. You cannot give a low quality paracetamol to a poor person.
true.
Just so, when we're talking about having no legs, if I have no hands, yes, my life is difficult. But having no legs means I cannot move out of this room. That limits my whole universe to a bed or a sofa. Even if I have to go to the washroom, I need help.
Hmm.
So what we do is we have imported. So my vision was to find out the best legs that are available in the world, and that are made in Germany. A soldier in the U.S. Army, when he is injured,
Hmm.
he is given these legs. So these are very high-end legs. They start from 1.5 lakh per leg, the cost.
Wow. Yeah.
And when I started this, everybody told me this is not going to work. You're giving such an expensive leg to a person who is earning 6,000, 7,000, 10,000. But I still moved on. I thought, let me change the life of 5 people. That's okay. I'm not looking to generate numbers in Madhuram.
Hmm.
But the first year we did 97, and now we've crossed count of how many people we
Wonderful.
have sponsored these legs with.
It's
The
wonderful.
beauty of these legs is that it is very lightweight, it is waterproof, it is break proof, and it is fitted with artificial intelligence. So it gives you a kind of thrust when you're walking. So if you see a Madhuram beneficiary wearing full pants, you
Mm-hmm.
cannot make out. I can challenge you. You cannot make out if that person has an artificial leg or not. They are jumping, they are tractor drivers, they are plumbers who are going deep in the pipe, in the dirt. Agriculture, the farmers, they go in the swamp, in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
There are children who are dancing. One of my beneficiaries, 6-year-old girl, just did an Arangetram in Bharatnatyam because the foot is so flexible that it literally bends. They are cycling. Cycling is one of the tests that every Madhuram beneficiary has to pass through, even the full leg. One of my rickshaw driver has started driving his rickshaw again.
Mm-hmm.
So all these things, I feel that Stepathon, I always talk very proudly about it because it immediately changes the life of a person. It is not a slow process. It is something which shows you immediate effect within a month, after some hitting and physiotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of my flagship projects, which is now continuing, and it has become almost autonomous.
Mm-hmm.
The second project which I talk about is the Aqua Therapy Center. Now you know that Madhuram started because of my daughter Shruti, and because of she was mentally challenged. Obviously, as a mother, forget about an NGO owner, but as a mother,
Mm-hmm.
when you research about medical facilities for your child, you know how thorough you research because it is for your own child.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's how I'm very well aware of the facilities that are available. Today, my daughter is walking because of aqua therapy. Otherwise, she would not be walking. I can very blatantly say that. The reason is that water gives you a certain kind of a resistance when you're doing something. Suppose
Mm-hmm.
I push my hand in water, there's a resistance that water offers. The same hand when I push in air, there's not much resistance. So an hour spent in water is equal to almost 11 times that hour spent on land. So
Really?
it yes. So your muscles have to work overtime in order to push against water. So what happened, and also of course water has its own healing properties. I am a big fan of Vivekananda. ये तो क्या है पंच तत्वों में से एक है जल.
Mm-hmm.
It will always say water has its own healing properties on another energy level. That's a different topic. But the whole thing combined gives a reduction in time. And as a special child, you are always racing against time because once you cross the age of 5 years and your brain literally closes, there is very less that you can do. So aqua therapy has been a miracle. Now there are aqua therapy centers available. There are very small pools in which one or two children can take therapy at a time,
Mm-hmm.
costing around 1,200 to 1,500 per hour per day.
Oh,
So technically, you can say it is a therapy of the rich because no poor person can afford this kind of money.
absolutely. Yes.
But what we are doing right now is with the help of the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation, they have donated land for this purpose. We are starting a world-class aqua therapy center. Nothing in Madhuram is below world-class. So, because I don't believe in giving that ganda, that
Mm.
dirty thing to the poor. So,
Of course.
even my daughter will go for therapy there only. So, it's a world-class aqua therapy center that we are starting. It will have the capacity to provide aqua therapy to 100 kids every single day.
Wonderful.
So, this is a dream, and we are still looking for sponsors. We are looking for crowdfunding to start this project, and that's why I request everyone who's watching this video to help. The crowdfunding platform that we are starting will start soon, around in 10 days, and we are requesting 100 rupees from every person. That's it. We're not taking more. So this project requires 4 crore rupees. And 100 rupees per person, I'm thinking if I can get 4 lakh people to do it,
Of
it
course.
will, yes, it's
It's
not a big
highly
amount.
manageable. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
And 4 lakh people is also not a big amount if the message spreads well.
Yes.
You will be literally changing lives of many children and receiving a lot of ashirwad from the good deeds that you do.
So, Shraddha, your organization is also providing financial support for these procedures and surgeries, and especially for the children. How are you actually reaching out to the children? How do you identify uh, the people who are in need?
Identification of beneficiaries is a very crucial point, and we don't take it lightly. There is a full procedure as to how Madhuram identifies the beneficiaries, because we have to make sure that the money that comes from donation
Hmm.
is not wasted
Okay.
or is not taken advantage of by people who can afford, in fact, sorry. So we are, of course, tied up with the government hospitals and the private hospitals.
Okay.
Usually, this kind of crowd comes more in the government hospitals. So whenever someone comes there, they note down, and when group of 10, 15 people happen, they will send those people to Madhuram,
Hmm.
that you will get funded there.
Hmm.
Under private hospitals, there are many poor people who are struggling to pay the high fees. So that's how we get those things. When I talk about stepathon, whenever a person loses a limb, it has to be amputated medically. You
Hmm.
cannot just lose, supposing I lost my leg in a bike accident. Then it's not that I can just have an artificial leg. It has to be amputated properly. The nerves have to be sealed. The bone has to be covered with skin. Otherwise, the bone is exposed.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I am tied up with all the people who are amputing, because ultimately that is the next step. That is the step before, sorry. So tying up with the right hospitals, the hospitals with experience, and the right chain of doctors. That's how we identify benefits.
Right. So, are you also forging alliances with like-minded social sector stakeholders like NGOs or other corporates? And especially corporates, are they helping you, fund your projects?
Yes, absolutely. I would very proudly say that Gujarat has very large-hearted corporates. They're always doing a little more than the 2% that is required by law. They're always doing a little more. The point is that CSR has to be done legally. So
Hmm.
people are looking for NGOs who are doing genuine work, because when work has to be done, rather do it genuine.
Hmm.
Secondly, corporates are now answerable to their shareholders, especially the public listed ones. So, anything that shows good result, a before and after, a before leg and an after leg with a mind cycling, is a big confidence booster for the shareholders that the company is doing good work. So, getting CSR is not difficult. I have always said that if your work is genuine as an NGO, raising funds would not be difficult for you.
Wow, wonderful. So, moving ahead, I would also want you to shed some light on the projects that you've already launched and you have the results. And if you could share some anecdotes of your beneficiaries or the numbers or the impact, the geographies that the project has reached.
Yes, so I have talked about two projects, the Stepathon and the Aquatherapy project. But one thing that Madhuram has never stopped doing is reaching out financial help to the special children for various therapies.
Okay.
So there are therapies like speech therapy, there
Hmm.
are occupational therapies, of course, physiotherapy is there. There is something called ABA, which teaches a slow learner how to identify colors and makes them basically able to do their things on their own. There are therapies which help a child to start going to the washroom on his own, start buttoning his shirt, basic life skills. All these therapies are also sponsored by Madhuram, because it really changes the life of a child.
Hmm.
However, these therapies are give very slow results. It's not like you just have an artificial limb when you start walking. A special child is a it's a matter of a lot of patience. So this is one thing which Madhuram has never stopped doing, and we are still doing that. Of course, we are also aiding the surgeries, as you said. These children require Botox surgeries, the Botox that you will see the film actors usually
Hmm.
putting on their face.
Hmm.
But these children require this Botox in their hands, legs, or other limbs, other body parts.
Hmm.
The reason is because their muscles don't grow as fast as their bones are growing.
Okay.
because their brain is not recognizing that body part. So there's no interaction with the muscles.
Oh.
So the bone will grow and the muscle will not grow. So the hand will become tight. Like it will not move or the fingers will become tight. So a little bit of Botox. Botox is actually a toxin. It's called, so it kills the muscle temporarily. That's how you can remove your wrinkles when you put Botox.
Uh-huh.
It will temporarily kill the muscles and then you stretch the muscle so that the hand or leg
Hmm.
doesn't collapse into a shorter form. So these kind of things we have always been doing and we are continuing to do.
So you're looking at only Gujarat, or you have also worked in other states and cities?
So right now it is only Gujarat. The plan of expansion will be in Mumbai and Bangalore or Hyderabad. I'm deciding between the two still, but Mumbai is definitely one place where we are planning to expand. The reason being that
Yeah, any particular
yeah,
reason?
the reason being that we are now tied up with a German company, Autobox, who is the master of providing artificial limbs all across the world, and they have 26 branches in India. So
Hmm.
not only they are giving a flat 15% discount on the legs that Madhuram purchases, they are also providing the fitting free of cost. So
Oh,
they have three branches in Mumbai. So I will plan to expand in Mumbai, which means the people will be selected from there, and the corporates will also be requested from Mumbai to fund those people.
that's wonderful. So, you have
Deepika,
also,
I have a question.
yes, sure, go ahead.
So Shraddha, you just told us about you tying up with a German company and they being able to help you with your endeavor. Do you have any other examples, like internationally? Have you been able to expand as an organization, like as in reach out to different companies who are ready to help you or aid you?
Yes. Now the irony here is that in India, in order to receive international donation, you have to have something called an FCRA, and the minimum amount that you have to be, as an NGO is 3 years. And Madhuram is so new, though it doesn't feel like because we've been doing great amount of work. But we are yet not qualified for SCRA because of our timeline is not even 3 years as of now.
Right.
But soon we are going to apply for it. Next 6 months, we are going to be qualified and we are going to apply for it. Foreign donations, I am definitely targeting. It's a big way. Lot of NRIs, lot of companies of the US are also looking to fund Indian NGOs now. Then there are many
Yes.
big foundations like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is there. Salman Khan is doing a great job. So all these good international we are I'm definitely looking at. Um, but we need to have the legalities in place as of now.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for that question.
Thank you.
So Shraddha, my next question is that you were talking about in inclusion in terms of including them economically as well as socially. So what are your plans for involving people with specially able people into the economic domain? In terms of giving them job opportunities. What is your idea?
So job opportunities is still, very far off in India. Frankly, I will tell you. The
Hmm.
reason being is the inclusion is a problem. The infrastructure is a problem.
Hmm.
Uh, if people see a mentally challenged person, they will start laughing. It's very
Hmm.
traumatic for that person, and I really don't think that we are prepared right now.
Hmm.
When we talk about these things, these are very big things, and they won't happen overnight. This will happen with education. Uh, right now, if you are following me on Instagram, there was a big issue which happened with my daughter on Aadhaar card because she was denied that she's not going to get Aadhaar because she's mentally challenged.
Hmm.
And I really raised the issue, went up to Nandan Nilekani also, the collector of Ahmedabad, then sent a team to my home. And then I realized and I asked many parents, they said that our kids don't have Aadhaar card because the Aadhaar people don't give card to special kids. The reason being that they are not able to give an eye scan. Now, what happens is when a child is mentally challenged, the first organ that is affected is the eye
Hi, right.
because it's closest to the brain.
Hmm.
So you cannot expect a mentally challenged child to just give that eye scan in a very calm manner.
That's not possible.
It will take a lot of patience because he's going to be
Yes.
either very violent or very down, depending on his syndrome. So because this eye scan is not happening, these people are not getting Aadhaar cards. because they're not getting Aadhaar card, they're not getting the disability card, they're not getting the discount on ration and so many other benefits.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we with UDID India, we started holding Aadhaar camps only for special needs. And that is also continuing now.
Okay.
So we are trying to raise awareness as much as possible. But right now, when you're talking about inclusion to another level or job opportunities, let's first talk about the basics that are not being done.
Hmm.
As a citizen of India, if you are being denied Aadhaar, I think nothing can go below that. So let's finish the basics first. Then we can talk of, financial independence and all these things.
Yes, but because that is actually a challenge for them.
Yes, it is. It is. They cannot open a bank account without Aadhaar now.
I hope this changes soon with all your efforts.
Yes, I
So,
hope so.
and so where do you see the scope for corporates to spend their CSR funds in more meaningful ways towards improving the lives of the specially able people?
The best way I would say is to invest in skill development.
Okay.
Skill development is one place which even Modi has been stressing a lot. When it comes to special needs, skill development is necessary because every child with a mental disability has a different kind of skill set.
Hmm.
For example, a person who is autistic, what happens with something, this autism disease, is that the person keeps going round and round and round and round in the same thing. Like
Repeating.
you must have seen that, I think the Shah Rukh Khan movie, My Name is Khan. That was Shah Rukh was autistic. So what happens is when you have a job which requires the repetition of the same thing again and again and again. For
Hmm.
example, in a supermarket, I have to arrange milk cartons.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that kind of a skill would an autistic person would be able to do even better than you and me.
True.
Or playing a piano, which requires the same thing as repetition, or data entry, or animation. These
Hmm.
kind of things, if an autistic person would be trained, he would be able to perform better than you and me. So, skill development, please invest in that. Of course, what precedes that is health. If he is not healthy, how can he do it? So, health is, of course, more important, but you can add skill development to that. So, right now, like I am stuck on health because first the child has to learn how to walk. So, we are doing
Yes.
stepathon, we are doing aquatherapy. Once he starts walking, then we start thinking of developing skill.
Also, you were talking about that you have two schools. So are you also, encouraging this kind of, awareness building and sensitizing the children community, the student community
Yes,
on STEM
yes, yes. So,
course?
the schools are being run by my mother in my hometown, Jabalpur.
Okay.
And yes, these are all normal schools.
Hmm.
And of course, we are very sensitive to special needs. Nowadays, there are special educators which can be kept to attend to the special children.
Hmm.
And all that we have planned to do and we are doing because it's very important that the child grows up uh, to learn to live in an environment where people are different from him. Someone may be blind, someone may be deaf.
Hmm.
So that kind of an audience is important. Right now, what we have done, we have completely secluded them. Either they are in an ashram or they are in an NGO, and you don't see them on a day-to-day basis.
Hmm.
So once the child grows up, he doesn't know what a person who's not completely normal looks like.
Right. So I think,
Mm.
because schools can be the place to, start this kind of awareness building and sensitizing the children, because they will grow up into,
Yes.
responsible citizens of this country. So
Right.
I'm very glad to hear that you are doing so much from, at in all sectors, and we wish you all the best for your endeavors. And
Thank
for me, you're a true example of, humanity and humility. Thank you so much for this wonderful interaction.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruchika. Thank you so
Lovely
much.
talking to you.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.